back, everybody, to the Ohio Boys Esports podcast. I'm your host, Jon Novak. Who's laughing already? Oh my god! So the person who's already making it cringe, co-host Jacob Funky Town Funk. What's up, Funky? Stop,
what are you
dude.
laughing
Why are you
about,
laughing, dude?
I just can't believe it. I just can't believe it, man. I'm here. I made it, Mom.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I made it.
Dear
Good
God.
luck.
So somebody who's not making it as cringe as Funk, Nate Zanman Schmitt.
What's up? Don't know what's going on with him, but how's it going?
And then somebody that I'm not gonna skip, the duo, Wolfe.
What's good? What's good? Oh, man.
Now moving on to the special guests / new person that we're adding to the podcast, who's going to be talking about all of Call of Duty Pro amateurs, that kind of side of things. Seth Ho, he's now being added to the podcast. Another Ohioan. What's up, Sethi?
Yo, what's up, bro?
And then finally, somebody's going to be talking about PUBG today, a special guest, and we'll have him on next week, I'm sure, for another game, because apparently he knows a lot about many games when it comes down to the esports world. Jimmy Impact Kearns. What's up, Jimmy? Nice. Same thing.
All right.
Where's he at? Goddamn, Jimbo.
One job.
He's a PUBG
One
age,
job.
so it's
yeah,
okay.
he's slow. He plays PUBG, let's be honest.
Yeah, bro. Just sit in the back.
Okay, so I wanted to start off really quick. I'll put this in the stream later,
He's back.
but I did forget it last week, and I wanted to put it up, the scoreboard for the predictions list, so that Seth Ho is going to have to somehow make a comeback in. Poor guy. So here's the scoreboard.
Yeah,
It's up on the
I don't-
screen
You
right
are
now.
so far behind.
You know your boy's
Poor
eating.
guy.
You know
So-
your boy's eating over here.
Yeah, Nate Wolfe is
Listen.
in the lead with 26.
Listen.
Nate
No, he
Schmitt
cheated.
at
He
a
cheated.
close second with 22.
Yeah.
Funk and myself are both at 21.
Let's go.
So at least Nate made second there, which is good. So I'll take that off the screen now. We're going to move into the first topic that's kind of going to fly by quickly. There wasn't too many like weird things that happened. To be honest with you, most of the matches that happened this week were made like and that teams lost in. It was more like champ select. So we're going to hop into League of Legends. We're going to first match up on the screen, TSM versus Clutch Gaming. An upset for all of us. We said that Clutch was going to lose to TSM. Did not happen that way. Needless to say, watching the match, it just kind of seemed like Clutch just had control of the jungle most of the game, and they really just TSM just didn't really outperform Clutch in that game. It just seems like champ select and jungle was kind of all over the place. So that was an easy one to decipher. Anybody want to comment on it? Anybody who watched it?
It was a long game.
It was a long game.
54 minutes.
Right. I mean, it was a long game. It just didn't seem like TSM really had that much control of the game. I don't know. I think watching it, like even the commenter said, like it seemed like Clutch was kind of choking. So,
You mean GSM?
or yeah, TSM rather. Sorry. So, anyways, moving on. TL versus C9. Everybody here had TL except for Nate Wolfe. So, if I'm not, who's in the lead now? C9, right? C9's like full time in the lead now. They're like way up there.
C9 and Echo Fox are tied.
Oh, that's right.
for,
Echo
for
Fox
7-1.
won both games
Yeah.
this weekend. So that game was kind of a toss up for all of us. I think we like during the predictions we kind of all just
We believed in double lift.
we believed in the double lift. The one player
Double
that
God.
Funk knows.
You mean double
on
God.
League of Legends.
Yeah, double goal.
All right.
Lost.
Get his name right, please. All right, thank you. All
Well,
right, you're good.
Funk, you're cringe, dude.
It happens.
What's going on with you today?
That's what I'm here for. I mean, that's what I'm here for. I mean, what do you expect from me?
So, but besides that, just a good overall game. It was really close. Nothing more than you expect from that. And then the game that I really wanted to talk about, because bump all of you guys, Optic Gaming versus CLG.
Oh my
Suck
god.
it. Every single one of you suck it. I called it.
Yeah.
Optic Gaming taking the W. Let's go, man. Watching that one.
How?
Optic Gaming controlled the entire game. They did. There was no reason for CLG to ever come back into that game. Optic controlled the laning phase, mid game. They won the first 2 Barons, if I'm not mistaken. They had I think they had the first 2 Drakes as well. CLG just cannot compete. That was an easy one. Yeah, it was just a bad game for CLG. And then we're gonna move on, because this is funny. 100 Thieves this week choked both of their games. First one against FlyQuest, which shouldn't have even been close. So they choke against. I'm laughing because I'm thinking about what's on the next day. So they choke against FlyQuest, and then so that was. God.
What?
Because they play. Oh my god. We're gonna hold off on talking about 100 Thieves until we go to day 2.
I see.
Yeah. Moving on to Echo versus Golden Guardians, who got their first win this weekend. Not against Echo Fox. Echo Fox took that one pretty handedly. Once again, Golden Guardians not able to take a single turret. They did not, up until this point, or up until their next match, they did not take a single turret off of any team in every single match that they played, which means they were 0-7 without taking a single turret. That's kind of depressing. So yeah, good times. Moving on to day 2.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
How do you think the coach feels about coaching that team? Like,
Nobody knows who the coach is.
This is an honest question.
Nobody knows who the coach is.
Are you talking about Golden Guardians?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they fired him.
Oh, did they?
They really?
Wait, when did
They
that
fired him like not even a week ago.
Oh, so
Wait,
maybe that's why.
I
maybe
actually
that's why
have
they
a
won
serious
game.
question. Who is Golden Guardian's roster?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what we have this
Who
argument
is
every
their
week. We
roster?
literally
Here, I
have this
got
talk
you.
every week. It's so funny.
Let me see that.
I will tell
Let
you.
me see that roster real quick.
Loading it up.
Yeah, hold on.
Tell you,
I'll put it in the
if
Skype.
they
I'll put it in
shouldn't
the
be doing
Skype.
that bad based on their roster. But
No, the roster.
No, the roster. No, the roster's really bad. No.
oh my god, please.
Yeah, it's bad. I sent it to you in the chat.
Okay.
In the Skype.
You know that roster is bad when their best player's high.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I thought Chapanya was on that team.
Nah.
No.
No.
Nah, they have
Fuck.
contracts and Matt,
Oh my god.
and then the rest are like.
Wait, wasn't
I don't even know who
contracts?
Deftly
Correct me if
is.
I'm wrong. Wasn't
He was
he
on
on
C9.
C9 for a while?
Yeah, he was that rookie jungler in C9.
Yeah,
Since
didn't he,
Garen
like,
replaced him
yeah, didn't he pop off though?
And then they
for
have
a couple weeks.
They have Harry Potter.
Harry Potter? What?
I don't know how to pronounce his summoner name. What is that, Lorlo or whatever? He looks like
yeah.
Harry
No,
Potter.
you said
does
it
he
right.
not?
Yeah, you said that right.
Oh really? I'm a god, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He's okay.
That roster's actually
Yeah.
garbage.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, they weren't that garbage, obviously, because they ended up
I mean,
winning this week. Against
yeah, but
the
it's
seven
one
Vikings.
game.
games without a single tower.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on, bro.
Yeah.
it's like Jimmy
Okay,
in
they're
his
that
solo
bad.
queue game.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm fucking running around with that like a headless chicken, man. Come on.
So okay. So day 2. This is where it gets really fun for me. This is why I was laughing. But we're gonna start off with C9 versus FlyQuest. That was an easy one for all of us. C9 took that one pretty handedly. There was no doubt in my mind that C9 was gonna win that throughout the entire game. They ran the champ select. They ran the laning phase. They ran the mid game. They ran end game. It was over. It was quick. And then on to the game that is funny. We all failed.
Yeah,
failed.
we did.
We all voted 100 Thieves versus Golden Guardians. Mind you, that probably should have been the team that should have won. I mean, they would have been 5-3, which means they would have tied for 3rd place if they would have beaten Golden Guardians. But instead, they decided to lose against Golden Guardians, giving them their first tower ever.
The
And-
Cavaliers, man. The Cavaliers esports team.
What is
To
funny?
the Golden State.
I know, and that's what's even funnier. Like that is a grudge match. How pissed off do you think Nadeshot is right now? That his team just lost to the worst team The number 10 team since week 1, like in the NALCS. I don't get it.
Just a little tilted.
Like-
Just a little bit.
And the fact that
That's why I'd be playing Fortnite, bro.
like how mad do you think Dan Gilbert is right now? He put that investment into them and they lost to the worst team. Oh my god.
Ah, they still got a while.
They do have a
Shit
while. Yeah, I mean they do have a while. I mean it's not even the middle of.
But it's just a little scary.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's like okay, what?
How does that happen?
Yeah, how does that happen?
it was bound to happen at one point. Someone had to lose.
Yeah, but 100 Thieves, like I would have thought like maybe if they played Optic, like the Optic could have lost it, like FlyQuest or something like that, like one of the lower teams. But 100 Thieves, the team that was like top 3, I think they were tied for third or second
They're
last
up
week,
there.
right? So like the team that was way up there last week, at 4-2, are now in the middle of the pack, tied with 4th with TSM and Clutch Gaming. So now it's like, okay, what?
Oh, I just can't wait till playoffs with all these good ass teams, man. The rosters are insane.
Definitely
So many
gonna
more
be
teams. It's split.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good.
A lot of imports from Korea and Europe.
Right. I can't wait to see Echo versus C9.
That's gonna be a match. That's this coming up week.
Yes, that's.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the predictions. That's gonna be a good one to make.
I'm already calling C9 because
Oh, Seth.
I don't even care.
That's hard.
Yeah,
it's a hard
gonna be
one.
C9's on my mouse pad, so I just by default.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. TSM versus CLG, the next match. Second but not last. Wait, where am I? Am I on the wrong page? No, I'm good. I'm good. No, I'm right. I'm right. No, I'm right.
TSM,
CLG. CLG. Yeah, I'm right.
TL Echo.
Yeah, I'm good.
You are,
Yeah, you're there.
I'm right.
You're
I'm
eating
good.
your house.
I'm Gucci. Yeah, you're right. I'm in my house.
Those are some old rivals, TSM and CLG.
That was the one game that I predicted CLG to win. I think I said that mostly because they were like.
You didn't believe in the boys.
Somebody's mic. Oh.
It ain't me.
I think it might be mine.
Yeah, it's somebody. I lowered the voice really quick. Somebody unplugged it.
It's not mine this time.
Yeah, wow.
It's mine.
How about that?
Is it better?
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay, yeah,
Nice.
it's just mine.
You have to play some elevator music and say technical difficulties.
Future John. Please. Moving on from there. We have the Optic Gaming versus Clutch Gaming. I voted Optic on that one. I voted Clutch. Punk and Nate both went Optic. Oh, Sethian's doing it again, bud.
Yeah, we were believing in Optic then.
Yeah.
You believed in Optic before.
Yeah, I know. I didn't believe
Against
in
the
them this
harder
time.
team, and they won.
I know. It's that was
Weird.
I don't know why I did that. But it worked out in my favor for sure. So that's it for League of Legends.
Is it better?
Doesn't really, kind of, not really.
We can still kind of hear it a little bit.
Yeah. Nice. We don't have these issues when Seth isn't on the podcast.
Okay, blame Seth.
Cue the Trump, you're fired.
Is that better?
Yeah, no, you're good. Alrighty. Well then, finally moving into something that everybody watched this week. In everybody's defense, it is the weekend of the Olympics, the beginning of the Olympics, so give you guys a bit of a break. Day 1 of the Call of Duty League. First things first, here are the standings. Wrong one. Right here, I think.
Are you trying to find the World League, or are you trying to find National Circuit?
No, World League. I'm just trying to find the standings. I thought I had it up.
I have it.
I have it too. I'm just trying to put it into the podcast. Give me 1 minute.
It's okay if I just say the standings?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, so Luminosity is number 1 right now, 12-3 map count, 4-0. Envy still has a match to play. They're 9-3 also. So no matter what, even if they 3-0 sweep, they're gonna tie.
Right.
And then FaZe, they finished out pretty strong, 3-1. Which FaZe has had an up and down year, so like I give them credit for coming out this week coming out pretty strong.
Right.
Splice 2-2, like they're pretty much guaranteed they're guaranteed fourth for now. E United still has a match to play. They pretty much have to. Even then, they don't have a chance of surpassing Splice up to this point. And then Evil Geniuses is sixth. They're done 4-11. They didn't play very well, which I didn't really expect them to when you have Aches and stuff like that on their team.
Jeez.
And then you have Unilad and Epsilon both have a match still to play. But once again, they have no chance. They're both 0-3. Unilad with a 3-9 map count and Epsilon with a 2-9. I just don't see them doing anything further.
I think that's pretty much how most of us had our predictions. So moving on to day one, we'll start off with Envy versus FaZe. That was kind of a 50-50 for us who were on the podcast last week.
Who ended up winning that? Who won that?
Envy shocked me.
Envy
They
won
shocked
that
me.
one.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Envy. Really?
I kind of thought they'd be the middle of the pack team. Didn't think they'd be up there. I thought them and E United would definitely be like switch spots as of right now.
Right, and to be honest with you, what that game came down to was in the S&D First Bloods, Envy pretty much had most of the First Bloods, which kind of gave them the win. First Bloods in a game like S&D, obviously, something that's going to lead you to victory. And then the AR presence from Slasher in the respawns, that's kind of what ran them all the way to victory, taking the FaZe down at 3-1. So, without Slasher, that game didn't happen. Not a chance.
Yeah, to be honest, when you have a positive vibe Slasher, you're most likely going to win that map, win that series, because he's the X factor for that MV team, in my opinion. If he has like positive vibes and he's not bitching and complaining, then they honestly can beat anybody.
Right.
Honestly, they're doing a lot better than I thought with the roster they have.
Like,
especially, I like to see the way Hook is like starting to adjust back to Call of Duty, coming over from Halo a few months ago.
Yeah, I definitely had my questions about Hook. Like at the first event, it was definitely the beginning of the game when I was seeing like the scrims and stuff like that. It was really scary to watch because I was like, this is not the Hook I saw, from AW. Of course, different game, different like atmosphere. He's just coming back, but still very scary considering he already got picked up by a pro team his first opportunity back.
Well, yeah, he just turned 18, which is the pro league age. So, like, he took that 17 years of age playing in Halo World Championships. It's kind of insane if you think about it. Like, the dude can play. He could basically pick whatever game he wants to play right now and be dominating both of those. That's just crazy.
Which is true. Yeah, 100%. But yeah, also Temp, another one of those guys who, if he has positive vibes, he can. Because we all know that Temp can get extremely toxic when it comes to just his overall attitude. Whenever he's losing to teams that he can beat, that's when he starts to get really heated really quick.
He likes the ego kids. So.
Yeah, just look at how he was at Champs last year, and then T16 doesn't really show enough. So.
Right. So moving on, really, just trying to keep her going. Unilad versus LG.
I really had no expectations for Unilad.
Yeah, just figured out.
I say they
3-0'd, but
wait, they did 3-0, right?
No.
Oh, they 3-1. Did they take the S&D?
3-1. Yeah. No. They took the first hard point.
Really?
Yeah.
That's disgusting. Okay.
Me and Nate were watching that match together, and we were like, "Wait, can Unilad actually do this?"
We actually watched the next game we're about to talk to, and
Ichi versus Epsilon. Nate Schmitt is the only one who voted Epsilon in that one and lost it.
Dude, Aches went large round 11.
Yeah.
He went large. He went large game 5 too. Aches was a big player in day 1 for EG.
I think that's one team that's gonna have a roster change before they go into the next season.
The thing is,
I see it.
Or nameless.
Yeah, the thing is with that team, they already before the year started, they really didn't go hard, and they told each other they really weren't. They were just kind of playing to still be at that top level.
Right.
They're all, I wouldn't say washed, but they're they're all veterans, right?
Right.
So, the youngest player on that team
is Enable.
and even then, Enable has been playing FPSs for Lord knows how long. You have Apathy, Aches, and
Nameless.
Apathy, Aches, Nameless, and Enable, of
it.
course.
Yeah.
Like the team, it's not that they're not skilled. It's just there's no player on that team who can single-handedly take over a game against the top teams.
Right. I feel that like they're all kind of like average, and like usually like they looked good on their other teams because they had that player that they could help, but like they're all like not. I don't want to say average because they're better than the average player, but they're like for a pro player they're average.
Yeah, they like Apathy was like if I were to look at anybody on that team to say he can like single-handedly take over a game slaying wise, it would have been Apathy. But just the way he's been playing, I really don't see it anymore. It's just like I think he kind of lost his way after that champs loss, in my opinion.
Right.
Like he kind of lost that confidence.
Right, I agree. I mean that should like in general be a good team when you look at it, but like you said, they're just kind of old. When it comes down to it, and now these newer players, these younger players who are really able to like bring the heat per se, are able to just keep slaying up, keep making the plays that they're just not able to do anymore.
Yeah.
United versus Splice, that was a 50-50 for us. Both Nates went for Splice. Me and Funk went United. To kind of give you the gist of the United versus Splice, it did go 3-2. What ended up happening is one player was not performing until the last S&D, and that's why it was so close, and that was Clayster. Clayster did not perform at all until
I was kind of shocked about that.
But also, E United barely beat a Splice team with a pickup on no practice.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
I forgot about Splice.
Yeah, E United has really been scaring me. The way they it's sad to see because there's two. I think of some of the most talented players on that team. You got Pristini and you got Arcides.
My bad. Yep.
Like you have two very talented players who are, I think, in my opinion, are getting held back by a very, very inconsistent Silly and a very slow Clayster.
Right, and normally Clayster's been like an AR god, right? I mean, you go back to AW where you really, or like Black Ops 2 even. We can go all the way back to Black Ops 2, and you'll see Clayster and how well he does with like the sniper, the long range weapons like the M8, and like weapons like that. And he was able to hold down a singular lane with his AR, and I'm just not seeing that out of him in this game. He's just uncharacteristically playing right now.
Like the way I'm looking at Clayster, the way he is now, it's almost like he's bent over, of course not like bent over, but like he almost gave up his like star role to Arcides and Pristini. He doesn't necessarily have to do that. Like I get it, Arcides is a very talented AR player and Pristini great sub player, and there's not much for Clayster to do on the map. But I still think having him as a lockdown AR would be such a smarter idea. I don't see why they're having him run a hybrid. He's not a hybrid player. He's never has been. He's a sniper. He's a lockdown AR and a sniper in search. That's nothing else to it.
Right. Splice, reasons why they lost maybe?
Yeah, I got it. Splice, they played with a pickup because Jerd actually couldn't. I think it was like a passport issue.
Right, it was a passport issue.
They had to pick up a player to play with, so they picked that fellow off of Complexity. He's a really talented player, but I think if you put Jerd on Splice, I don't think Splice would have lost the game this week.
Just for chemistry.
Yeah, I don't think they would have lost.
I think like you said, Fellow is a really good pickup for them. I think he really showed that he can play with the best of the best this weekend, especially with them, 2-2. That's not really that bad, right? With a pickup, that's not bad at all. I think that, like you said, Jerd, if he was on the team, they probably definitely could have went, 4-0. But
I say they could have easily 3-0'd United, maybe 3-1.
Right, absolutely.
I definitely think Splice would have been the best team. And if not, they're sitting at 3-1 where FaZe is instead of being 2-2. I definitely think that Splice is the most talented team in Group B.
Moving on, LG versus EG. LG took that one pretty handedly. That was Yeah.
Once again, when you have young guns like John and Slacked and Octane, there's no stopping them. Especially if you're EG, you can't really do much. Especially like JCap, in-game leader, very smart, obviously knows how to win. And then you have those 3 players who are just naturally talented players. And, Slack being very selfless when it comes to playing. You can't beat them when you're as slow as EG is.
Right. And then I don't have this picture for some reason, but final match of that day. Or no, moving into day 2. No, I had it right. Day 2, Splice versus Unilad.
That was as expected.
Once again,
Probably
one.
Probably a 3-0 with Jur, but
I think they also took the hard point on Splice too. I didn't watch that game. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna act like I did, but I could have sworn they took the hard point again, which is crazy because Splice is normally a dominant hard point team. Like you said, easy one to predict. LG versus Epsilon next match. Another easy one to predict.
another
3-0.
Another 3-0.
Just
Yeah.
another game where it's an NA powerhouse versus an EU team. Just games like that. That's obviously how it's gonna run. Moving on, FaZe versus Splice. Now this, my friend. 3-2 for FaZe.
Honestly, we've been preaching this the entire day. Splice would have been probably 3-1, 3-0 FaZe. Honestly.
So the reason why Splice did lose is because they gave away streaks. Now, how much that would have changed with Jerd, I'm not exactly sure. I do have to say FaZe is definitely more talented, and they're definitely able to really bait teams out to get those streaks. But I think you're right. It definitely would have been a lot closer. So, is my thing still working? Hello?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, cool. So, moving on. Now we're on Envy versus EG. Good stuff. Another 3-1, kind of predictable. I think EG took the SMD off of them. That was really it. So, kind of predictable one. Moving on. FaZe versus United. This is where the upsets begin for all of us because we all voted United in this one, and FaZe ended up taking it pretty bad, right? 3-0.
Yeah, 3-0.
Yeah.
Honestly,
if I would have had a chance.
United, I overgave them what they deserved. I thought they were one of the better teams in the game, and FaZe came out and proved that FaZe had something to prove. I thought Clayson would come out and play a little bit better since he's playing the team that he got dropped by. Just didn't see any of that fire out of United.
Right?
Man, I've never really United has not impressed me ever since they formed. To be honest, they have not done anything.
Tournament.
Did they?
They won a major last year.
No,
yes,
no.
They did.
Wait, with Clayster? No.
Oh, okay.
Not with Clayster.
Gotcha.
Yeah, ever since Clayster joined that team, I have not seen anything impressive from them. I think at best they've gotten a top 4 placement. But even ever since now, I just don't they show breaks of excellence, but then never follow it up at all. And it's just disappointing to watch them every single time. If I had a chance to pick, I would have chose FaZe 110% over United.
Well then, luckily for us, Seth didn't get to pick because he might have thought.
Yeah.
It sounds like he knows. Oh, there's my standing sheet. What the heck? Why is it over there? All right, moving on. Splice versus Epsilon. Another one that was, I guess should have been known, but Funk and Nate Schmitt both took Epsilon. I think that's another time where Nate chose Epsilon when he shouldn't have. I don't know what he was
Damn,
thinking.
feels bad.
Poor Nate Schmitt just struggling with the Epsilon pick this week. You'll eventually get a win, Nate. You'll eventually.
I mean it's not a terrible pick because Epsilon isn't the worst team.
What?
That's true.
Look at their roster. Who do you even know on that roster?
But they're not.
Look
Are
at
they
their
the worst
record.
team in
Wait, is Epsilon
Division B?
hockey and all them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're the
they're
worst
not.
team in Group B.
Yeah, before the event, I think Epsilon's a very solid team. Like
They're-
hockey.
They're better. They played a lot of good matches, like close matches here in Group B. They're just missing that. They missed a little bit of plays here and there that they could help them win. But like, I think they're talented overall.
All right, I've been proven wrong, I suppose, because Seth did know somebody on their team. That's funny. Anyways, Envy versus Unilab. Easy win for Envy. Glad Funk decided to join us today. Moving on, EG versus FaZe.
No, sorry, I left. My bad.
Okay, my bad. EG versus FaZe. Funk's sleeper team taking the 3-0 victory.
What'd I say?
After Funk, they're still way down there. They're no longer a sleeper team anymore.
Yeah, what the heck?
Like literally, take out a pillow and a blanket and go to sleep.
No, they are the blanket, bro. What?
They are the blanket. They're the pillow and the blanket. They're like Z-Quill, man. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really expect that though. I mean, if FaZe wins that,
right?
We have 3-4 teams or 3-4 teams, and Division B, which is good.
2.
But if you think 2
4-0 teams, yeah, there's only 2. FaZe, it would have been FaZe and Luminosity. Envy only has 3.
Oh, you're right. Okay. No, but still, that bracket, it wouldn't really change much, but at the same time, it changes a lot. That's one of those matches they have to win. Like, they can't let EG beat them, especially that bad.
Right. So, moving on, last match of day 3, LG versus E United. E United taking the L. We did not predict that except for Nate Wolfe. Nate Wolfe is the only one who predicted LG over E United. That was actually a close game. Once again, we're going to get roasted by Seth because E United did not impress him since they were formed. So, once again, it's a good thing that Seth wasn't picking this week because he probably would have beaten every single one of us in the prediction board. So, thank you for not joining us last week, Seth.
You're welcome.
So yeah, that's it for the what happened this week. Good looks when it comes down to the stuff that we've already talked about. But we are gonna, while we're still on Call of Duty, don't worry, Jimmy, you will get your chance to speak. I know you're dying over there because you haven't said a word.
Yeah, when we play the ads, you'll be able to speak.
Oh my!
He's literally
He's literally dying. So
brutal.
So, wanted to talk about something that happened this week during the CWL Pro League. We're seeing a lot of teams give up streaks. So Seth, I didn't get to introduce you the right way, I suppose, because I don't know if I said it, but you have gone to a couple lands, so you do know what it's like to go down a map or be in the middle of an S&D and somebody's really close to streaks and. What goes through your head when you're trying to get this one player off of streaks? Are you aiming for that player? How do you prevent this from happening? Because there are a lot of teams that are struggling with it.
Well, the thing is, it's like a lot of people. Unfortunately, a lot of pro teams, like a lot of the players who have come up in the last couple of months, are people who aren't necessarily used to the variant game mode. Correct. A lot of them have been previous search stars and stuff like that, and they don't look for that kind of stuff. They don't look at the score. They don't notice the score line or like a certain player's score all the time during respawn. They're used to search in that slower style. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So personally, when I know someone's on a streak, of course you're gonna look at the kill feed, see what they're doing. You don't necessarily want to keep feeding that player because obviously they're feeling it right now. Like they're obviously feeling themselves. Like if they're on like a 4 or 5 streak, they're obviously not missing, right? Majority of the time. So what you need to really do is just kind of push as a team. Like say if you're playing in a hard point, right? And it's like a rotation type of deal. Just keep pushing with your team because you have a better chance of taking out that individual with the team than keep trying to challenge them one-on-one. If that makes any sense.
Right, so are you gunning for this person, like, as a team? Are you saying to your team, when you're in the middle of an S&D, like, say you're on St. Mary Dumont, and you know this guy is at B-Bomb, are you challenging that man as a team? Or are you just saying, let's play this smart, not challenge him type of
thing? Like, like challenging him is almost playing to their game, and you're just kind of playing into them, and it's just showing, and you're showing them that, so they can pretty much just take over a map like instantly. So what you need to do is keep playing your game in a sense, but keep it in mind that they're on streaks. If you get what I'm saying during search,
right?
Like keep playing your game, but don't try to keep yourself as a unit and not getting caught, constantly getting caught. Mid sprint, not pre-aiming, or you're by yourself and you try to challenge a dumb gunfight. Don't put yourself in that position, or you're just gonna once again put them in the streaks.
Right. So that's pretty much all I had to ask when it came down to the streaks. Now, one thing that I did see, another thing of this week, is the London Docks hardpoint. A lot of teams are struggling, mostly with holding down rotations. I believe this week, let me double check. Yeah, it was the first match. It was Envy versus FaZe, and you're watching Envy really just set up, or FaZe just set up on these power positions, on these places where they're holding spawns, they're holding lanes, but they're easily getting picked off. Like break it down. Why is that happening? Why are there so many teams struggling with holding down rotations?
So what mainly I've seen is people. Because I have to admit, hardpoint as a game type has definitely become more sensitive when it comes to the spawns this year. Like, if you push out a single lane and you don't even notice it, the spawns can flip so instantaneously. So it seems like almost like due to there's no true dominant team or like smarter team in this game yet, in my opinion. Like you can, it just goes to show like they're not. Like, as soon as they get 4 down, they don't know where to look half the time. People are sitting there in the hill or pre-aiming something that they're not supposed to pre-aim, and they put themselves in more one-on-one situations, and they lose the one-on-ones, in my opinion. It's just like, when it comes to rotations, people think that holding down lanes by themselves is, like, the smartest idea, which it can be, depending on who you're playing. But say if they... like the other team is like pushing as a unit, as a team, and taking out individuals one by one. You can't expect your team to win 2v4s constantly trying to hold the hill.
Right.
Like that's personally why I think people are getting broke.
Right.
And then
I think another way to fix that, with like rotation wise, is more PPSHs, because as good as the ARs are in this game, like running a bar and FG, I'm really noticing the rise of the PPSH. It is unbelievable what people can do with that weapon. It is stupid.
Yeah, it is. I agree. The PPSH, the range is unlimited pretty much if you have a good shot. And the thing is, you were previously mentioning about London Docks. So London Docks, the problem is so many teams are so used to having that one player who steps in the hill and the other guys push out, right?
Right.
The thing that I'm constantly seeing reoccurring this game, I see more teams like, because you know how in most hard points people will find a spot and they'll try and wrap around. In this game, you don't have that much time, so you're most likely just going to push out where you spawn off. You're looking forward and you're just pushing them.
Right.
So it's like, people are like, I see too many people trying to roam around, trying to get kills, and then they end up not getting the streaks and losing a life and spawning out, because once again the spawns are extremely sensitive in this game. They're pushing out spawns and they're dying, and you're losing men, and that's why I think, like, especially in London Docks, that's why a lot of people are getting broken really quickly.
To touch up on what you guys are saying, a lot of teams, like, if you don't maintain spawns, like, you're gonna have to flood that hill or try to get spawns, and if you just keep getting killed and killed and killed, and then eventually you're gonna kill them, right? But by the time you kill them, there's like 15 to 20 seconds left on that hill. You don't want that hill anymore. Other team's gonna spawn out and get the good, like, spawns they could get. So, like, for instance, say like you're holding Beer Hill on London Docks, and you're spawning in the back, and then all of a sudden they break you, and then you start spawning back double bus or back fire. You're gonna have spawns for the next hill.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, definitely, it's. I think honestly, it's harder to hold spawns in this game due to the fact the spawns are so messed up in this game. Like, you could fort down somebody on the hill that you just broke, right? And they could still spawn close. That's something that's really, really bothering me about this game. Like, the overall hard point on London Docks is such a very inconsistent game. And that's why like any team has a chance of winning that game.
Right.
If there's a London Docks hard point. There's no consistency to it unless you're just absolutely outslaying the other team. That's the only thing.
Right.
Another thing to touch on hardpoint too is like you can outslay a team and completely lose the map. Like we've touched on this before, John. Like you can outslay a team and completely lose the map.
Right.
Like if a team holds spawns well enough and then they play hill, that's going to be better than you outslaying the team by 30 plus kills. All right, 30 plus kills is dramatic, but you know what I mean? Like a 15 plus.
Right. Right. I mean, a team that does that really well, TK.
Yeah, they get outslayed by
Right.
potentially almost. I don't want to say almost every team, but like they're not a high slaying team, but they play hill and play spawns really, really well.
Right.
They know what cuts to push. They know how to play. They play the game in a very tactical way instead of a slaying way.
Right.
Which is what boots on the ground is. Like, people don't understand that because we've played 3 years of COD that have been revolved around slaying. And it's been revolved around just pure gun skill, not as much smarts. Like, it took some kind of smarts. It just came with more reaction time and skill.
Right, and
but,
practice, because you had to be able to practice, the movement, speed, and all that. But
yeah,
realistically.
Yeah, so it's like, people are, like, that's the problem is people think, oh, we're back on the boots, time to go back to how I used to play. It's not as simple as just saying, let's go back to how we used to play, because you're so, like, it's almost muscle memory and mental memory of how you used to play from these past the previous CODs. So it's like, definitely, like, the really bad habit I've seen is having 2 push old when there's 20 seconds left on the hill and only having 2 rotate. That's something that bothers me very much, because, like, sure, you might have killed someone off the last hill, but you pretty much just gave them free spawns for the next hill.
Right.
So there's no point in that, which bothers me a lot, because pro teams want to sit there and talk about problems that they have. Well, do you go over the little things that just because the stats don't show it, there's still problems like that occur in the game, and they don't go over it, and it bothers me a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of people doing that right now. Like, when you're playing with them on ranked play, people just, like, are watching these pro matches, and they're watching teams push with 15 seconds left with a rotation. It's like, why? When you can hold down a whole 60 seconds if you wanted to on the next hill. I mean, a map that really involves that, if you want to go really extreme, is Gibraltar. I mean, if you rotate late on Gibraltar, you're pushing yourself way out. I mean, the third hill is like, it's completely across the map.
Yeah, the third hill on Gibraltar that's a weird, like, that map's weird to me, because the first hill, it's scrap time. Second.
Whoa, hello. Did we lose
me?
Like,
you have a 40. You have a 45-point lead, and then all of a sudden, the third hill, that team's just they can flip for a full 60 on you.
Right.
Yeah, true.
True that. So I think that's all I really noticed differently this week than Group A, realistically. I mean, Group A was really good with a lot of this stuff that we were talking about. So moving on to the Pro-Am side of things, something that I don't really know too much about, so I'm going to let Sethy take over, and then right after that we're going to hop into to Jimmy's discussion on PUBG, which once again I'm going to allow him to solo the PUBG discussion, because once again, something that I'm not really 100% on. So Jimmy, get your notes ready and get yourself ready to rumble, as they say. So Sethy, go on and take it away.
All right, so
I don't know if Jimmy's here.
Jimmy's gone?
He like low-key disappeared.
Jimmy?
He's in the Skype call.
He's in the Skype call.
Yeah, I know that. I'm trying to talk to him. But he's not responding. Something might have happened.
So hold your breath on the Jimmy thing, but worst comes to worst, we can always talk more League of Legends, because we didn't get much time to earlier, there was a couple things that I did notice this weekend that Nate Schmitt can touch on. Still haven't heard from Funk the entire time, but anyways, Sethy, go ahead and hit the Pro-Am circuit. We'll get on to that.
So, for the AM side of things, I want to touch on this really quickly. The AFD After Dark Orlando Open event 4K happened this past weekend, as two of my old teammates, Christopher Outside and Rice Gruzzer, competed in this weekend and actually won. Congratulations to them. They reverse sweeped twice in the grand finals to win it. So that was pretty interesting to watch. Very exciting event. Well, this is one of those lands that, so personally, I'm from the east side community, I guess you could say. So we have like the NJ, New York kids, Ohio, Pennsylvania. That's mainly the kids I play against, which is I think amateur-wise, some of the better competition that you're going to play nowadays. And then what happened is, Ray and them have personally, have done well at these Northeast events. And when they go to these lands in Orlando, where the competition's not as like heavy, but still steady, I guess you could say, but you expect to win that without a doubt. But they actually suffered a little bit of adversity at the beginning. They actually lost the very first round of winners, and they went all the way through losers until losers finals. They didn't lose a map in losers, which is very impressive in my opinion.
Hey, your mic's doing that thing again.
Is it?
Yeah, just a bit.
Is that better?
Yeah, but way better. So yeah, continue.
So overall, it's just like I don't think this really wraps up who's a top amateur team yet. There's no really good amateur team, in my opinion, that has really taken over at all. Like last year, there was really nothing. The last amateur team that I could say really ran the community was In Control, but of course, not many people remember that team. They were the last amateur team that I think really ran through any amateur team that was in front of them. And then now to go to the national circuit really quick, which is, so there's 3 teams tied for first, really. GGEA Orange, which consists of, actually, they don't have their 4th player. Okay, so that has Spoofs, Mayhem, Nova, and I don't know how to pronounce that name. But yeah, they're tied for first with Next Threat and Gone Gaming. Of course, Next Threat consists of Nagafin, Sensor, Blast, and Mochilla. 4 solid players, but definitely are very inconsistent. But I think they can definitely make a run for their money in this national circuit. And then Gone Gaming consists of BLFire, Legal, Havoc, and Mosh. And then after that, you got E6, who are currently at 4-3, but on a hot streak with a 3-win streak right now. Then Complexity, who have dropped majorly after their last 2 losses, which obviously they haven't been looking too strong. They've shown a lot of weak points, but I definitely think with some more scrims and more chemistry, they can definitely bring it back, as Complexity just brought on Dashi not too long ago. And then you got Juked, which consists of Spacely, Apox, Llama God, and Baker. Baker was a big-time amateur player who shown a lot of excellence against Complexity back in the Ghost days. That's when he was really getting known. He used to play with Nihil and all of them. They're currently 6th. Then you got GGEA Blue. They're not looking too hot. They're currently tied for last in the national circuit. That's with Fastballa, Johnny, Semino, and Supreme Agility. And then you got last, which is Ghost Gaming, which I actually had high hopes for, with Base God, Mox, Godorex, and Pander. They haven't been looking too hot. They've lost 6 straight. And that's really unfortunate, because I really had high hopes for Ghost Gaming, and I don't like seeing Mox and Lacefield struggling like this. That's really all I got for the national circuit.
Right. also Ghost Gaming, a couple names that I noticed. Ghost Gaming, like you said, high hopes for him. I mean, and then Censor's team, also another team that I really thought might pull away. But is there any teams that you think, as of now, might be able to enter this CWL Pro League, considering that they're changing over to the new thing where it's the top 4 stay in the Pro League, and then the bottom 4 teams in each division have to fight to get back in? So is there anybody that you think is going to take one of those 4 spots on each division?
I say the only team that really stands a chance, personally, with the experience, complexity, if they fight their way back into the top 4, I say they have the greatest chance of beating any team on that on the pro circuit, in the bottom 4 at least, because of, you got Parasite, you got Dashy, you got Study, and you have crap, I forgot the 4th, and you got Fellow. 4 very talented players, and of course you have Parasite, a boots god, always has been good at boots on the ground Call of Duty, and he's still continuing in this game, but just hasn't found the right team yet to obviously be in the pro league. But I think they stand the biggest chance. And then next is a very iffy team for me, just due to the fact that Nagafin is a very inconsistent player. He kind of scares me, to be honest, and how inconsistent he is, because he can be so much better than he is, but just with the reckless plays and trying to make highlight reel kind of plays, he definitely scares me with that consistency. And then I really can't see Gone Gaming. Like, yeah, it has Havoc in them on it, but I feel like in a best of 5, they don't stand a chance. And then same with GGA EA Orange. 4 players, very talented, but I don't think they're ready for that next step in the pro level.
Right, so is there anything that you're seeing, like, them making mistakes that are really, like, keeping them away from this pro level of Call of Duty?
When it comes to okay, so the number 1 team currently, GGA Orange, they've really never. So they've made it to group stages. That's the furthest they've ever made it. And the thing is, they haven't really shown that they're worth the pro league yet. They haven't shown that it factor, like that they're dominant and they're beating the top competition. Like, they're beating good competition. Don't get me wrong. They're obviously in the national circuit for a reason, but they're not beating teams like Envy, Luminosity. They're only beating like the teams that are either falling off or just rising up with a new roster. That's in my opinion. And then next threat, it's just because they have Censor. I don't care what anybody says. Censor, big name, a lot of talk, in my opinion.
So that team's just not even.
I just can't see them being a pro team anymore, because Censor has really been just he's literally a living meme of Call of Duty. He literally has made himself a meme. He wants to post his life on YouTube. Great, stick to it. You probably should have when you quit the first or second or third time. That's my opinion.
Anger.
No, it's annoying because he's gotten so many chances to prove that he should be, that he wants to be a pro player, but he choked the first time with Next Threat. He cost it in the S&D. They gave up. They got reverse sweep by Envious when they were weak. Come on, that's when you need to pursue it. And then he pulls that scandal with the blue rule where he faked his pro points.
Yeah. No, I think that's the one thing that like gets under my skin is people faking pro points. I mean, obviously there is a team that's in the pro league at the moment that is suspect for the same thing. That I don't think they belong there at all, even suspect or not suspect, because it's the same thing happened to the Censors team. But yeah, I mean, like the fact that the pro points are there for teams like his, where they might not be that strong, but they can at least compete for pro points every day and every weekend, and be able to have a good chance of possibly staying in the pro league, and you decide to abuse it and fake it. That's
exactly. It's sickening because it's like you've been away from the game. The game has been there. You decided to step away. That was your fault. You were the one who costed. Okay, we can go all the way back to Black Ops 3. You were the one who costed E6 their league spot. Everybody else played good. You were going double neg with 3 minutes in the hill. Who cares? You suck. And then IW, you step away. I get it. IW, not a great game. It's not. It's a pretty bad game. But I'm not saying this game. This game ain't much better though. I'm just the only reason I like this game better because it's on the ground. That's the only way that I even remotely played this game. That's the only reason I turn on my console every single day. Then you have Sensor. Once again, we're bringing it back to Sensor because he's gotten so many chances. He buys a team, right? So he buys a team to play with him. He makes Next Threat, a team that was known for being good back in the old Black Ops 1 days. You know, MLG National Championship. You know, congratulations. Who cares? Anyway, so then he buys this team with Methods, Nagafin, and I don't remember the fourth. It was probably a different fourth. But they were doing solid through group stages. But then once it finally came down to it, they obviously showed their weakness against the top competition. Right. And then I hate the fact that Sensor goes on YouTube and on Twitter saying that he deserves to be a top Call of Duty player. You have not yet proven that you are a top Call of Duty player. You have the skill set of a top AM, but you're playing with people who have that pro level skill that you lack.
Well, one of the players is in the pro league. Methods.
Exactly. That just goes to show there is a difference between actual talent and a guy who puts on a face and says he works hard.
Right. Cannot disagree there at all, actually. Good points from Seth.
Like now you have Blast, a Search Star who's obviously got the talent, who's probably going to carry his ass on the next LAN. That's all I have to say.
Alrighty. Do we have Jimmy? Is Jimmy still not here? Is he just MIA, peaced out Girl Scouts?
Yeah, he peaced out Girl Scouts, dude. He's like in the Skype call, but he's like MIA.
Alrighty.
I don't know what happened.
Jimmy, let me down, so we're not gonna see some PUBG talk this week.
Feels bad, dude.
Feels bad. Is there anything anybody else wanted to talk about? We can get right into predictions because I think we got more in this week in less time, which is cool. Nice. Still haven't heard from Funk. Oh, there's Funk.
What's up? How you doing?
Yeah, crisscross applesauce. Glad you're back.
Crisscross applesauce.
So we ready to get the predictions? I guess.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Everybody's ready for this?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wolfie. All right, cool. Let's get it. So this week to save my editing process because last week it was just unbelievable because we were all talking at the same time. We're just gonna go one person at a time. So let's try to keep it like that so I can make sure I get the right things. Because it took me a couple times this week. Before we get into this, I wanted to say a couple things. First things first, I know the podcast was late last week. We had a rendering issue. Myself and Nate, basically like the two computer gurus that have been in the podcast, could not figure this out. So I apologize for the late post last week, but we do have it figured out this week, and we are going to get it on time this week. Another thing, just wanted to quick shout out to my dad. He made our new logo, and there's another one that he actually just sent me that'll be in the next week's podcast. We've officially changed our podcast emblem every week now. So quick shout out to him. Thank you so much. It's amazing. It looks really good. He made all of it from scratch. None of it's anywhere else. The colors itself, all of it, very unique to us. So thank you. Anything else anybody wants to say? Quick shout out to my dad.
Yeah, they Papa Snipes.
Your dad's a legend.
So,
Papa Snipes.
He used to carry me in Destiny raids.
I forgot you played Destiny with him, Sethy. My dad was a G at Destiny. That's right, I forgot. He carried me in Destiny raids.
I remember I used to rage because it got so repetitive for me, and I just stopped trying, and then he'd just be like, "Come on!"
Yeah, no, he was a god though, right? I mean, he'd back.
Oh yeah, he was pretty good.
He was good for sure. He got the Galahorn after I did, which was even more frustrating for him, I'm sure.
Put down a ward.
Put down a ward?
Yeah, put down a ward, baby.
Is that your League of Legends shout out? So yeah, finally into the predictions. Sorry, I just wanted to get a quick cut and shout outs and whatnot. So predictions, we're gonna start off with League of Legends. League of Legends, starting off Team Liquid versus Counter Logic Gaming. Start editing, John. Let's get it. I'm gonna go
TL, baby.
TL.
TL, double god. What you mean?
What you mean?
Disgusting.
Sethy?
Disgusting.
All right. Since Team Liquid just won the CS Summit, I'm just going by default.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with TL.
All right. Oh my
Yo,
god.
whoa!
Whoa.
Chill out there, little lady. We haven't heard
Blackboys.
from you all day, and you're just gonna come on this.
Yeah, wow. All right.
I want to hear this blasphemy.
Nate Wolfe.
TL.
All right, TL
Yeah,
across the
that's
board.
right.
Good looks. 100 Thieves versus Echo Fox. I'm gonna go Echo
Echo.
Fox.
Echo.
100 Thieves. Let's get it, baby.
Echo Fox.
Only.
But after their performance this
yeah.
weekend, I don't know. No shot.
Yeah, no, not a shot in the
I'm
dark.
believing in Echo.
I believe. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna.
Echo
Captain
Fox beat
Admiral.
GG. 100 Thieves didn't.
Here we go. We're gonna test the faith. TSM versus C9.
TSM.
TSM. TSM.
C9.
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 Okay, so
C9 all day.
excuse
Fucking
me.
fakes.
C9. For me, Nate, and Sethy, and then the other Nate had TSM, and Funky had TSM.
Oh yeah.
You guys
Gotta
are just
believe.
Somebody's on their knees. All right, Clutch Gaming versus Fly
Their
Quest.
knees bending over for TSM.
Oh man.
FlyQuest.
Okay, Wolfie has FlyQuest. I'm gonna go Clutch.
Wait. Yeah, clutch.
FlyQuest.
Clutch.
Man, you just like to be
FlyQuest.
the opposite of me, don't you?
Sometimes.
Alrighty.
What in the white?
Yeah, we don't hear for this, man. The entire podcast. Just got a girly over there.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying, bro. He thinks he could just step in and
Yeah,
my.
step in and start roasting us. Like, who's
Yeah. What? Who are you?
Optic Gaming versus Golden Knights, the battle of the two teams that are struggling at
Optic.
the moment.
Yo, I believe in the
100%.
Golden Guardians.
Optic. Optic.
OG all day, Pete.
Like, there's
I
no
hate
question.
to say it.
God champ.
I hate to say
Don't
it.
say it, John. Don't say
Golden
it, John. Then
Guardians.
don't say it.
I don't want to
No.
say it, but I have to. They had a good
No.
week. They had a good
I don't
week.
care.
beat 100
They won one
teams.
game. What do you mean? They just got their first tower. On the
Yeah, that's
circle.
right. Hey.
It's a good start. They know what they have
Respect
to
the
do right now.
process. Respect the process.
Right.
I-
Alright, but no,
mean,
there's no way
the
they're
process
beating
still hasn't
Optic.
worked for the
Okay,
Browns, but
No
I mean,
shot.
Don't
No.
say that.
Funk, you're hurting my feelings. Like you're
No
really
shot.
Oh god, dude.
Funk. Oh my god. I'm
Oh,
gonna roast.
Right. Day 2 of week 5. We're on 5 now, right? My lord.
Yeah.
Clutch
getting
Gaming
there.
versus TSM.
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 Okay, TSM across the board. Moving on, Team Liquid versus Golden Guardians. TL.
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 No chance.
TL across the board.
Process, guys.
Echo Fox versus C9. Oh.
C9 all day, baby.
Echo Fox.
Let's get it. Oh, pussy.
Echo. I'm
C9.
sorry, but I don't like C9.
What?
I'll believe in
sorry.
C9.
You don't like
Sickening.
C9, Funk?
What is this blasphemy I'm hearing?
TSM,
Funk,
bro.
you don't like Sven Skaren?
I do,
God,
because he's
get him
from
out of the call.
TSM.
You might as well just said that.
Get him out of the call. Get
What do you
him out of the
mean?
call.
He's a former TSM player.
I don't care.
Yeah, I
Get him
know.
out of the
You
call.
might as well just said
Because
that.
that's why he's good, because he was on TSM. That's why he's good.
God.
So.
Continue
Not even that.
before
I just think
continue
that
before I throw up.
Sneaky, Jensen. I mean, come on now. Let's be honest here. Sneaky's a G.
I mean, Sneaky's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Sneaky's pretty fucking good.
But on the other side, I mean, Echo has Hooney. I mean, Hooney's.
I don't care, man. C9 all day. Any!
Yeah.
I'll believe in Echo Fox for that one.
All right.
Hell yeah.
So
That's
wait,
what I'm-
what
that's what I'm
was it?
thinking.
I went C9. Toxic went C9.
Echo.
Echo for Funk. Echo for Nate Schmitt. What'd you have,
Yeah.
Wolfie?
Echo.
Okay, so. Just
Okay, I'm gonna make a bet right now. Funk.
Yeah.
If C9 wins, okay?
Then the
Yeah.
trial.
No. I want you to wear one of those swimmer caps, okay?
Okay.
Put that over
Deal.
your head,
Deal.
and then no. You're not done yet.
Oh, jeez, maybe.
I
Deal.
want you to wear a speedo, Okay? And you're going to go straight into the snow. I don't care what happens.
Wait, yeah. I want a video. I want a video.
Yeah, you have to video it. I don't.
Somebody has. Yeah, boxers is
even
fine.
If your mom,
is fine,
even if your mom is wearing, even if your mom is freaking filming it, I don't care.
Yeah, no, I want a video of it for the podcast.
All right, deal.
Wait.
Deal,
So wait,
100%.
what does Seth have to do? What does Seth have to do then?
No, Seth doesn't have to
Same
do
thing.
anything. I'm new.
No, what do you mean? It doesn't matter. No, he's not doing. No, he's not doing it. No, he's not doing it unless there's something on the board for him.
No,
I'm his
probably.
lawyer.
Okay.
Thank you. I want to be represented here.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Jesus Christ, you have to have a voice. Jeez. This guy. What he's so mean.
I think
he should do the same thing.
I think Seth should do the same thing. He's got to put a swimmer cap on, and he's got to jump into the snow in his boxers.
100%. Because I know for a fact I could box down and win anyways.
So C9 wins. Funk has to jump in the snow with a swimmer cap on and his boxers. And then if Echo wins, Seth has to do the same thing.
Yep.
Is that a deal for everybody? Everybody's good
Yeah,
with
it's a deal.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
But on one condition.
What's the condition now?
What if I get injured in the process? Do I sue?
No.
That's
not even a what? So this is video proof.
Because at the end of the day, Seth always has to win. So I'm gonna find ways to win.
Just stop.
At least he admits it.
All right. Moving on. So that's the deal. Good stuff. Hopefully one of you guys has a swimmer cap, or has money to go get one.
I'll send you money.
I get paid Friday.
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
All right. 100 Thieves versus Counter Logic Gaming. Who's got it?
100 Thieves.
CLG.
Man, I do not.
CLG.
Look, 100 Thieves just lost.
Twice.
I don't care, Adderall, brother. That's all you need.
Sethy, what are you going?
I'm going freaking 100 Thieves all day, baby. Nate shot.
Oh my.
I love Nate Shot. Don't get me wrong, but
you're fake.
Wolfie.
What was it again?
100 Thieves versus CLG. Glad this man's paying attention.
Yeah. CLG.
Yeah, real.
All right, FlyQuest versus Optic Gaming. Staying true to my roots, Optic.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'll give it to Optic.
Optic.
Did I say
Optic.
white? You said white.
Wolfie, what are you doing?
Optic.
Who's playing that?
Yeah.
Who's got the
Yeah,
ring?
fucking who's packing up their mom's car?
Optic.
All right. That's it for the NALCS. We're moving on to week 4 of the CWL Pro League.
Let's get it. This is where
First
Seth
game.
really knows.
Yeah, this is where Seth really needs to thrive here. He needs to get every single one of them right just to keep up with us. Epsilon versus Team Envious. I'm gonna go Envy.
Envy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to call Envy on this one.
Are you Wolf?
Envy.
All right. Moving on, Splice versus Luminosity. Just for the fact that Splice has struggled last week due to the
Luminosity, baby.
yeah, Luminosity.
Splice.
Oh,
I'm not sure. This is a really tough one. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Luminosity.
okay. So 3 of us LG, 2 of us Splice. We're gonna go E United versus Team Envious. Their second match of the day. Just because of that, I'm gonna have to go Envy.
You know what? I know I've been roasting him this whole podcast.
No,
I'm gonna go with E United. I'm gonna
I'm
go
gonna
with
go with E United as well.
Yeah, I believe in the United.
You know what? Funk,
Wolfie.
you can't agree with me. Go with the other
Envy.
team.
No. No.
Would you say Wolf?
Envy.
Alrighty. FaZe Clan versus Unilad. That's easy. FaZe.
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 Actually, stats say Unilab.
Alright. Wolfie, did you say FaZe?
All right.
Yes, face.
Good talk.
Alright.
I love talking
So
to you.
here we go. Funk, if you don't vote EG, I'm gonna make you.
EG.
Okay,
EG.
United versus EG.
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 E United.
Uh-oh.
EG, 100%.
Okay.
EG.
Alright.
Wait.
I'll
What's the
believe
match?
it,
What's the
Funk.
match? What's the match?
United versus EG.
I'm gonna have to go with E United.
Alright. Well, Funk has to vote EG every time they come up because that's his sleeper
Yeah.
team, and we roasted him last.
Just wait on it. Just wait on it, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's a
but when
process.
dude, they're so old. They already have one foot in the grave, bro. Come on,
it's a process. It's a process.
Well,
A process. What is the blasphemy coming out of your mouth?
Please ask the bronze how the process is run.
Just wait. Just watch.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. You're sickening. Sickening.
Unilad versus Epsilon Day 2 on Wednesday, starting at 4 p.m.
One thing. That's like believing in a 90-year-old life trying to recess. There's no point.
Epsilon. Actually, time out. Actually, I take that back. I'm gonna go Unilad.
Epsilon.
I'll go with Epsilon.
Epsilon.
Just because they're the Cop champs.
Epsilon, baby!
Hey, well, I'm the only one going Unilad. That worked out for me when I voted Optic last week, so... Team Envy versus Splice. I'm gonna go Envy.
Envy.
Splice.
Envy.
This is... Damn! Yes, as much as I wanted to go with... Yeah, Envy.
Okay. Alright, Epsilon versus E United. I'm gonna go E United.
EU.
On Epsilon.
Epsilon.
Wolfe?
EU, bro. What you mean?
Epsilon.
Okay.
What?
EG versus Unilad. EG.
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 Unilad.
Unilad. I'll do it. Unilad.
Oh, man.
They're 1 foot in the grave, man. They're gonna lose.
What do you mean? Yeah, shut your mouth. I'm so sick of you. Oh, I can't wait till next week.
Yeah, no, I actually, like, I really need this videotape so it can be on the podcast. It'll be great. I'm tweeting it and putting it on the podcast. It'll be lit.
Send the chow.
FaZe Clan versus
Send
Loom.
the chow.
Luminosity.
Luminosity.
LG.
LG.
LG versus who? Sorry, I didn't hear
Luminosity. Or FaZe. FaZe. LG versus
I'm going
LG.
FaZe.
Alright. So everybody went Loom except for Seth. He went FaZe. Alrighty.
Wait till next week.
Oh my god. Epsilon versus FaZe.
Epsilon.
FaZe.
FaZe.
FaZe. FaZe up, baby.
I am also gonna go FaZe. Alright, Unilad versus E United.
Unilad.
Unilad.
United.
Unilad. Whatever. Schmitt.
I don't believe.
What were the teams again?
Unilad versus E United.
Oh, United. Free.
I'm so
It's
sick.
free.
He said free. Team
Free.
Envy versus LG.
Send
Free.
the chow. Should we send the chow for this match?
Wait, are we still on United versus Unilad? Are we sending the chow towards Nate?
Are we sending the chow?
No. No.
Imagine the upset.
I'm not that cocky.
Whoa! You talking about a chicken
King Kong?
or?
King Kong dog?
Yeah,
What?
dude.
Alright, Team Envious versus LG.
Envy.
Versus LG. Oh, LG all day, brother.
LG.
Yeah, LG.
Frickin' John's about to shit on him.
Schmitty.
LG.
Alright, Splice versus EG.
Splice.
Splice.
You know what? Splice. Just kidding. I'm not.
Splice.
EG. Frickin' retirement home.
Splice.
Splice,
Alright,
baby.
that's it for the matches this week. How about that? Good week from us. Like I said, as soon as we're done recording this, I'm gonna start uploading it and getting it ready to render because I'm not having the same issues that we did last week. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast this week. Like I said, one more shout out to my dad for making.
Yeah, you love my dogs too.
The new ones coming out next week. It'll be lit. Any closing comments from you guys?
Okay, I have to say one thing. How dare you ever vote for EG? Ever? How dare you?
Oh,
That is
man.
sickening.
Trust.
Okay, I'm done.
Trust.
I'm done. We're good.
Trust.
Just shut off the podcast.
Sethy got his out. Alright, who's up?
Trust.
Funk, that's you.
Shut your ass up. I'm so sick of
Just-
you. Oh my
Trust.
god. I
Just
can't wait to
wait,
see your ass.
bro.
I can't wait to see your ass in a freaking swim hat.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
That's not even what you guys sent the chow on either.
Pretty sure Echo
had
Fox is
nothing-
gonna win
You
that
guys
one.
sent the chow on League of Legends, not even like for Call of
Pretty
Duty.
sure Echo Fox is gonna win that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll send a chow on any bet.
Oh.
On League.
I can't wait. I can't wait to.
So
On
Schmitt,
League.
do you want to join in on
Me
their
and you?
bet? C9
Oh, welcome
versus
back. You're
Echo?
only an hour late.
No, I know about the bet.
Are you joining in on their bet? Do you want to make it a 3-way bet?
Next week. Next week.
I heard chicken.
Next week.
Next week, okay.
Ooh.
Next week, I'll take one of you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, I
All
can't
right.
wait till next week. I can't wait.
At least we know somebody will have a swim cap.
This is gonna be views, bro. This is gonna
Oh,
be
no.
major views.
All right. So because Funk didn't say it this week, my closing comment: crisscross applesauce.
Of course.
Applesauce.
Catching on.
Nate,
Yo.
closing comment.
See you, dudes.
Crisscross.
See you, dudes. Wow.
Crisscross?
Crisscross.
Applesauce.
Bedtime story? What are you doing?
Crisscross?
Applesauce.
We good.
All right, Wolfie.
Deuces.
Yeah, no plug this week from Wolf. That's a good start. All right, boys.
Yeah.
See you guys. Like the first week, he plugged like everything. I was like,
Follow me
dog.
on
It's all.
Twitter.
So if you guys
on
want to go to
Snapchat.
any of the Twitters, they're all in the description below. Mine and Seth's YouTube channels will also be down there. Leave a comment. We like reading our comments. We read them last week, and we're able to talk about them in the podcast. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys later.